Hi everybody, I'm Tricia Rozelle. I am an artist with TENAJ Beauty Group, and I'm also a full-time stylist behind the chair. Today I'm going to do Paige's hair in a Trace Chignon. It's a really quick and easy way for you to get your hair up for an out on the town do. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I want to give you guys an opportunity to do a really quick updo that you can do when you're going out on the night on the town with the ladies, or the boyfriend calls you and says, hey, I have an event that we need to be at in 30 minutes. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to section the hair into 3 sections. Paige has a fringe, so I'm going to work with that fringe. If you don't have a fringe, you can just swoop this all the way to the back. It's all your preference. This is really organic. You should just feel it as it happens. So I'm just going to come down and section this off, and the way I've sectioned it, I'm really riding just below the parietal ridge of the head, and I'm coming down and I'm about an inch above the hairline, so I have nice coverage when I swoop this up. I'm going to go ahead and pin this off to the side so I don't get it swept in my other hair, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. On the other side, she kind of has more of a swoop bang, but I'm going to leave a little piece out so I have a little bit of softness. Another option would be to swoop this all back and kind of create more drama coming to one side. Again, it's all your preference. So now I have 3 sections, one being much larger than the other. This is going to be the bulk of our updo or our chignon. And the big thing here, you want to make sure you have nice distribution throughout the crown. If you want a little more glitz, you can just do a little back combing in the crown and create that. So this is our dry shine spray, and I love this, especially behind the chair, because it gives me that working capability. This is great for prom updos or wedding updos, where you're going to be kind of pinning and placing, or spraying and playing, as I like to call it. So I just want nice, kind of messy, neat. I'm going to gather that up. And then I'm going to divide this center section into 2 other sections of equal weight. And this is going to start to create our knot. If you have some of these flyaways, just layer a little more of our dry shine spray. Kind of pat it down. I'm going to have you hold that for me, Paige. Thank you. Paige has really pretty color, so you're going to see a lot of dimension in this. So all I'm going to do is kind of create a little hold with my finger. So I've spread this apart. My other 2 are going to come up. I'm just going to grab that loose hair and pull it in. It's literally like you're learning to tie your shoes. If you have layers, like Paige does, just tuck those in and wrap them with their according pieces. And then you want to pull it tight, just like you do when you tie your shoes. I have enough room to do probably 3 or 4 knots in Paige's hair. If you don't have as much hair, you don't need to do as many knots. It's that simple. So as I'm doing this, I'm kind of smoothing each section of hair. I want it smooth, but not perfect. If you're a perfectionist, then smooth it till it's perfect. Again, I'm just kind of knotting. She can feel the tension on her hair. As you start to layer, that's going to create some of that imperfection for you, and that's okay. So I'm not going to do another knot here. I'm going to just go ahead and seal it off, because this would be nothing but kind of loose hair. So you can either seal it with an elastic, which is what I'm going to do, or you can pin it, whatever your preference is. I like the extra security of the elastic, plus it gives me something to pin to when I pull these other pieces down. So you have a couple of options. You could kind of go straight up vertical like this, or you could twist it and kind of turn it to one side. Again, if you're wearing an off-the-shoulder dress, you may want to go to one side so you can kind of play up that drama. The longer your hair is, the more cumbersome that will become. And a few pins will secure this down, no problem. I've wrapped my pins around that elastic, which creates extra security in your updo. So if you're gonna go out and you're going out to the club, you don't wanna be shaking it like a salt shaker and your hair come down. So again, you can see it's kind of really messy, really just kind of raw, and that's great. That's really in right now. It's the reason we have like really skinny jeans with really blousy shirts on top of them. These side pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and let go. Sorry. And before I do that, I'm gonna use the back end of my tail comb. Not really using the teeth, but you can see when I just run it down, it really smooths all that down. We're gonna cover all of this little mess here so you don't have to worry about it. I feel like I need another pin right here on top. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull this whole section down now. You can see I have from front here, corner of eyebrow, to back, just below the hairline, right in the nape area. I'm gonna take this piece, comb it. I'm gonna kind of comb these fringe down to create flow. And I'm gonna wrap this around. And this is where you're really gonna start to see a lot of the dimension in Paige's color. And I'm gonna pin, and when you pin things like this, you wanna pin with the direction of the hair that you're coming from. So I just pulled this from this direction, therefore I'm pinning it in that direction, and it's gonna hold it much more securely than pinning it in the opposite direction. I'm gonna leave the little piece that's left from this out, and I'm gonna repeat this on the other side. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of that fringe out, just for balance. As I do that, I'm gonna just tuck in that little imperfection that I had and smooth out the top a little bit. I really like this kind of messy and raw. Like, I imagine her wearing a sundress and riding down the street in this, and I think that's what it should be. These pieces, I'm just gonna wrap around, again, pinning in the direction that they came from, and I'm gonna tuck them. This will be the section that you'll use the most pins, wrapping those loose ends. If you don't wanna wrap them, you don't have to wrap them. Play around with it, curl them, flat iron them, spray them, whatever you want to do. Then what I like to do on this last little bit, I like to pull that piece of the bun down, kind of loop it in, wrap up those loose ends, and then tuck it. So it's really kind of nice and tight to the head. Thank you. I'm gonna finish off her fringe just with a little bit of our Dry Shine Super Spray. Again, you want to tuck any pins. It doesn't matter where you're at. Pins aren't cool. Anytime I do an upstyle, I always make sure that it feels secure to the person wearing it. And that is our Trace Chignon.